Hey, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Tell the truth. Mark Twain once said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. That might be one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard in my life. And it's true. I mean, when you tell the truth to somebody, you don't got to worry about catching up with the lie or remembering certain things that you said. And, it just, like, you don't have to remember anything. Who gives a shit? I mean, you told the person what's on your mind, and that's it. It's out there. But then you got to deal with the consequences. Maybe you said something really offensive, or maybe you said something that is true that wasn't meant to be said. Maybe everyone already knows it's true. But maybe you should have just kept your mouth shut. That's why we lie. Because we don't want to deal with the consequences. And it's sad. Because in the end, a lot of people, all they want to hear is the truth. But there's such a small percentage of people that can actually handle it. A lot comes with telling the truth. A lot of responsibility. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't want to take responsibility for themselves. They rather just lie and just keep going on and on and on in life and, never face the truth. They just want to live their life like they're perfect or nothing is happening and, they don't want to face who they really are or the situation that they're dealing with. People always wonder, who's the bigger liar, men or women? I think I have the answer. No, of course I don't have the answer. Listen, both of us lie. It doesn't matter if, it just depends on your personality. That's all. I mean, are you lying to get something or are you telling the truth to rub it in someone's face? It doesn't matter what sex you are. I mean, in the end, you're just lying because it benefits you, or you're telling the truth because you want to feel better about yourself. Guys, though, I mean, we do seem to lie a lot, and it does seem to calm down the situation a lot of times. But at the same time, we have to keep up with the lie. Let's say you've been seeing a woman for quite some time. You're comfortable with each other, and then eventually that dreaded question comes up. She asks you, honey, how do I look? Now, realistically, if you're with this person and you truly love this person, you're going to love them no matter how they look. But deep down, maybe a guy will be like, I don't know, maybe you've gained a couple pounds over the last Christmas. Maybe the hair dryer doesn't work and your hair looks extra dried out. Maybe you just want to tell a little lie and just say, listen, you always look beautiful to me. That's a lie. I mean, nobody looks 100% beautiful all the time. Eventually, when you're dating someone, especially if you're living with them, you're going to see them at their worst. Eventually, you're going to accidentally go into the bathroom and see them on the can. Eventually, you're both going to go to Taco Bell and it's going to sound like trumpets all night, but you're just going to have to lie and just say, listen, I still think you're beautiful and I'm still here. I'm still here for you. Whatever you need, I'm here. You could tell the truth. The truth always seems to come out a lot of times during arguments. It's almost as if, like we've been holding all our lies in for a long time, and all of a sudden it just comes out because, we just want to tell the truth and rub it in the person's face, you know? Like, I don't smell, you smell. Especially when you fart 3 times in your sleep. Now, the person never knew that. Technically, you weren't lying to them because you never told them that. It never came up in conversation. But, you just want to tell them the truth and rub it in their face. And the truth is a very, very powerful thing. It's a slow build of confidence almost. It's like this secret about something or someone, and eventually you just know you're eventually gonna rub it in their face, and afterwards, you ironically feel bad for telling the truth. They always say the truth will set you free, which in a way is true, but it could send you free out into the world because she won't let you back in the house because you fucked up. So, is it worth telling the truth, or is it better lying? My opinion, just tell the truth. Always. 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 Wink. Always. Just try to say it in a very comforting way. If you have a problem, as a guy in a certain relationship with a woman, just let her know. But just let her, know gently. That's all. Because I'm sure she's got shit on you too, that she can't wait to throw in your face. And that's another thing too. When women lie, all hell could break loose. Women lie to each other all the time. A group of women could literally be in like a perfect circle and they could just be laughing it up for hours and hours. And deep down, they will really hate that person because of the way they look or the way they come across, but they'll hold it in, Guys, we're more aggressive, like we don't give a shit, like we're just gonna let it all out eventually. It's just like a slow build, but women, they can hold it in, they're way more, responsible with their actions, but eventually they will blow too, they're just more comforting with it, so that's something that as guys, when telling the truth, we could definitely learn from women is just be, more comforting. If we're gonna shoot the gun, make sure there's the silencer on there, and just, make sure there's a pillow in front of it too. Like everything we can just to silence the blow, but just be respectable about it as much as we can. Like I was saying before, it's a great way to not remember shit. Just tell the truth. And there's times where you gotta lie. You just have to, and you gotta always remember the story. You gotta remember who you're with. You gotta remember where you were, and it's like an interrogation. Good cop, bad cop. Just coming down on you, and you're just trying to remember. Okay, like what was I wearing at the time? Like what was I doing? Just say the truth. It's also a great way to build trust with someone. In the end, you would think that if you tell the truth to somebody 100%, they're going to tell you the truth back. Of course, I'm living in a fantasy world when I think that, but at the same time, maybe eventually it'll just rub off the person. Oh, this person seems pretty trustworthy. Let me confide everything I know, and let me tell them the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Let's start off clean. That's cool. I mean, again, it's not realistic. I mean, people will not always give you the truth. A lot of times you just have to look at a person, and maybe you can just tell if they're telling the truth or not. They might look down, maybe they'll cough, maybe they'll scratch their head. My dad would always tell me that the eyes never lie, and I always remember that. And it's true. I mean, a lot of times when you look at a person, you could just see like their actual eye color, and you could just see it, going back and forth through the whiteness of their eyes, left, right, up, down, and like you can tell, like maybe a little bit what they're thinking. Maybe they're a little scared. Their mannerisms. Are they biting their nails? Just little things like that. You can always tell, like, if someone is telling you 100% of the truth. It's kind of obvious. I mean, I'm not saying like you'll always know. It's not like they're going to be hooked up to a lie detector, which I've heard in many cases could be easily faulted. I've heard there's been times where people will put a thumbtack in their shoe and they will press down with their big toe on it, and just the pain will affect the lie, or it'll just totally throw off the scent, or just any pain in general. Maybe they'll like pinch themselves, or I've even heard cases where people will put their hands in their pockets and pull a hair or something off their leg or off their and it'll just totally throw off the scent, like I said. So yeah, that's interesting, but again, I mean, eventually if you just look at the person, I think you can pretty much tell if they're lying or not. I mean, especially if you know somebody. I mean, you get to know someone's mannerisms for over the years, and you get to know how a person acts. So in the end, if you really look at a person as they're talking, you can pretty much tell if they're lying or not. It builds a good rapport at work as well. I mean, if you just tell the truth, I mean, this is a place that you got to go to every single day. Maybe not every single day, but at least like whatever, 5-6 times a week. And you got to work with these people. You got to trust these people too. I mean, trust is a big thing. I mean, if you can't depend on the people that you work with, then the job's not going to get done. I mean, it might get done, maybe it'll get done slower or whatever, but you got to depend on them. So make sure they're telling the truth and they're stable, and things will definitely go way better. Plus, how much more safer do you feel with a person if they're telling you the truth? You just feel better. I mean, it makes you want to open up more as well. You just want to understand everything about them, because they opened up to you and told you everything. So why wouldn't you want the same thing? It's a good feeling. There's a good trust there, to be able to, know that this person has your back, and, vice versa. You can trust this person 100%, worst case scenario. But the art of lying is almost like a full-time job by itself. I mean, it's okay to lie, I guess, if you feel that's the life path you want to go down. It's okay to, lie about everything that's happening in your life, your job, your friends, your family. I mean, if you could really keep up with the lie, like if physically, if you could keep up with it, then go for it. Why not? But physically, though, it's really just gonna drain you. Again, you gotta keep up with the lie. Like, you always have to remember it. You always have to remember how exactly this went down. And nobody ever does 100%. I mean, unless you're like an actor rehearsing this shit, over and over like a script. I mean, it's never gonna happen. So eventually what happens is you have the truth, which you're denying anyway. And then you lie, which is like the complete opposite of the truth, of course. But then what happens is when you go back to the lie, you're remembering maybe, I don't know, if you're lucky, maybe 50 to 75% of it. Of course, you're going to leave out little details, because most people that lie, I mean, they don't give a shit anyway. If you ever talk to someone who's an addict, let's say if they're on drugs like cocaine or something like that, they are notorious liars. I mean, they don't give a shit. I mean, they will literally look at a blue wall and they will tell you, this fucker is purple. I don't give a shit what you say. And they'll just keep going and going and going. They're very stubborn. I mean, like, they just don't care, And being stubborn is a good part of lying as well, because you just don't want to admit that you're wrong in something. And that's what a lot of people do. I mean, instead of admitting that they're wrong, they'll just lie. It's like the old saying says, the truth hurts. And it does. I mean, nothing in life is easy. That's why lying is so easy, If I got to remember the truth, it might conjure up a lot of bad memories, or something I don't want to talk about anymore, or something I don't want to face, or, a challenge that I have to face with someone or something, But if I lie, it just rolls off the tongue. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. Yeah. You know what? I really remember. Oh yeah, I was at this person's house the other day. Yeah, I was just doing this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't do that. That was fine. Whatever. Just I was just I was busy with some things. Just bullshit. But then you gotta remember what you said too. You gotta remember, again, like I said before. You gotta remember person, place, thing, time, blah blah blah, whatever. It's frustrating. Also, when you tell the truth, it seems to attract a lot of people that want to tell the truth with you. Or, people that are around you, that sense that you're being genuine, and they want you to not only tell the truth all the time, but just, understand their truth, and then that attracts a great conversation, and then you can, go back and forth, and, deep down, like, both of you are just speaking from the bottom of your heart, and it just feels good. But you know what doesn't feel good? Getting caught in the lie. Like, when you get caught lying, I don't care how good of an actor you are. I mean, as soon as you get caught lying, like, someone will go, oh, you're lying. And then all of a sudden, like, you'll kind of get this, like, face, like you're trying to cover up the lie in your face. You're kind of like, oh, what are you talking about? I didn't do this. But then, there's a part of you deep inside that has the other face. It's like, oh shit, I'm fucked. They got me, like, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to make up another lie? Am I going to keep going with this? Should I just, admit while, before I get both feet in my mouth, before I dig my own grave? I mean, I got to admit it, I have to admit, to my wife, I had sex with her sister. She looked good that one summer, and I've been thinking about her ever since. And, she keeps texting me and calling me and sending me all these cool pictures. Like, what do you think of this bikini? And then I got to say, well, yeah, you look good. It's all good. And, and then, like, she'll eventually invite you over to her place. And then you get all comfortable, and then some it's like oh, like why are candles lit? Do you not pay your bills? And then something goes down, and and then you gotta lie. I'm not saying this has happened to me. I'm just saying a lot of people do have to deal with stuff like that, and eventually the truth will come out. It takes a long time sometimes for someone to admit the truth too, or just even the truth to themselves, just to be able to admit that they're wrong. They did something wrong. I fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm not a perfect person, I'm I sometimes leave the toilet seat up. I forgot to put it down. I'm sorry. I am not perfect, but for a lot of people, it's tough. A lot of people don't have that advantage of, being able to carry a lot with them, mentally with all the lies. A lot of people, they just don't have it in them. I mean, they're just like, oh, you're right. You got me. I'm sorry. It's it's okay. I mean, like it's a good thing, if anything. I mean, it's kind of funny to see sometimes, but it's just better just to tell the truth. You can't handle the truth. Classic line by one of my favorite actors, Jack Nicholson, in A Few Good Men. And it's actually a great line because a lot of people can handle the truth. They really can't. They know about the truth and like what happens in their life and what happens around them, but a lot of them don't want to face it. And that's why it's even that much tougher to tell the truth or just even admit that, listen, this is the reality you're living in. This is the truth. This is the truth. I am in love with your sister. I'm sorry, honey. It's just the way it is. I think you've known that for a very long time. She blow dries her hair better. She's awesome. She really is. She's the better cook. We both know that. I'm sorry. We've been prolonging this for a very long time. Again, a lot of people again, this is not something I've gone through. I'm just saying this as an example. But a lot of people do have to deal with certain situations like that and say, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. And it takes a long time for them to not even just admit the truth, but other people around them to admit that, yeah, this is the truth without even the other person saying it. And they just have to get out there and just finally admit it, say it out loud, get the elephant out of the room and admit that that is the real truth. And it's tough. It's really tough. I mean, there's no easy way to say it, but it has to be said. It takes a toll on the body too, lying. Like it feels like, like a heavy weight. I mean, they've done studies where, like if a person's been in a lot of pain, not even just so much lying, like it just weighs heavy on the brain. They've done studies in Harvard where like the brain will like expand and it'll just like it'll you could see it works differently, and it's a toll on the body. It really is. Like people will even suffer back pain for it. It just the body can't live without the mind. I think Morpheus said that in Matrix, but it's true. I mean, like everything will affect everything, and just because it's not a physical action, I mean, technically it is because you're talking, and it is physical, but mentally you have to think about this and how you are going to be able to deal with this until you tell the truth. And yeah, it'll weigh a toll on a person for sure. And let's be honest, in the end, you're going to get caught. Even if you get away with it for years, eventually it's going to be one of these things where, for the most part, if you're a normal person, it could just come out one day. You're just going to explode one day. You're eventually going to let your guard down. Somebody will catch you. It's just going to happen. So in the end, just don't lie. Just tell the truth and you'll feel better about it, for sure. One of the biggest lies I ever told personally was, I was about to graduate high school and I'm pretty sure I was going to graduate. I mean, to be honest with you, I wasn't even 100% sure I was. You know, I'm not a smart man. I'm not stupid either, but you know, I'm pretty sure I could pass high school. Um, so my so my parents they got me a ticket to Greece, and you know, I'm thinking, hey, this is cool. I'm gonna graduate the year 2000, you know, because it's 2000. I don't know. I mean, back then the year 2000 meant, you know, something really cool. I don't know. Anyways, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna get to go to Greece after. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna go to Greece. And then I went to Greece for about 2.5 weeks, and yeah, it is like a different world there. Um, you know, speaking of lying, you really don't have to lie to the women there. I mean, everyone just seems to really just, I don't know, it's just a constant party compared to here. I mean, yeah, so it was great. You know, I was telling the truth all the time. You know, I was probably drunk half the time, so that was probably part of it. But yeah, it was great. You know, and then I came back, and you know, I felt, you know, a little bad, you know. I was like, shit, I'm not sure if I passed or not, you know, but let me just enjoy my last freedom here. And yeah, and then I got back, and they actually bought me a new TV too, which was, yeah, it probably made me feel worse, to be honest. Yeah, because before I had this like old TV. I mean, like basically, you know, for those of you that are more like my age, like if you remember, they used to make TVs that were actually made of wood. I don't know, for some reason, like for a very long time, things are just made of wood. I don't know. I would think that, like, I don't know, the cast of Bambi just made all my furniture. But yeah, I mean, the TV was old. I mean, like it had channels like U1, U2, nothing with the band, U3, U4, and I would put it on like U4, and this TV was so old that, well, like first of all, a lot of times I'd turn it on and it would just like show a line, so you'd have to like hit it in the sweet spot, and then like it would just automatically turn on. So that's cool. Uh, and then I'm telling the truth now, because that's what I'm all about these days. And I put it to channel U4, and I would literally pick up a police scanner. You know, so if like I don't know, Price is Right wasn't on, I would just, you know, listen. Yeah, we got the floor coming in. You know, we got the crime coming in, and we got the you know, okay, there's no we can go to Danforth, you know, and you know, it's over. I was like, this is fucking awesome. You know, I'm like, yeah, book him, Dano. So that didn't make me feel good. And then I ended up getting my report card back, whatever, eventually. And yeah, my parents found out I wasn't going to graduate. You know, they found out that their only child is way more stupider than they thought. And, you know, I had to basically make up a whole bunch of courses. I tried in the summer, and then, you know, going to different schools, and you know, eventually I graduated. You know, like I found my niche, and yeah, you know, so that was a big lie. So you know, why did I lie? Because Greece is awesome, and you know, I wanted something. I wanted something, you know, so bad that I decided to lie. You know, do I regret the lie? I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't. Greece was awesome, but you know, but in the end, it ended up hurting me because you know I had to hear shit from my parents, and mostly my mom, you know, because she's Italian Catholic, and enough said there. And yeah, I it just yeah, it's you know, and then I'm fucking myself over because of the lie. So you know, guess what I'm trying to say is, just don't lie. I mean, there's no point. I mean, I honestly, truly believe that in the end, the truth will always come out. Although, you know, the last couple of years, there's a very thin line between being 100% honest and asshole. And that's the real key there about telling the truth. I always felt that a big part of stand-up comedy was telling the truth in a funny way. And, in the end, all of us, or most of us, just want to be able to hear the truth. We want to think that wherever we are, we're getting the truth. And let's be honest, if you believe that, then you're stupid, because people are always going to lie to you to benefit themselves, whether it be friends, family, coworkers, politicians, whatever. I think our pets even lie to us, Did you pee on the rug? Did you pee on the rug? And they just look at you with the Google eyes, like, I don't know, we'll forgive you. But, in the end, if you could just be honest with yourself, that's the best thing. Because in the end, you'll feel better about yourself, and you'll feel good about yourself. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. That was the Fresh Prince, aka Will Smith, in a great role in Concussion, where he was told, his character anyway, was told, also based on a true story, that they were holding the truth about concussions in the NFL. Now, to me, that's a big lie. I mean, that is a massive lie. I mean, like, that's the thing about lying too, is that we don't even know that our lie is affecting someone's life, like literally life and death. Now, again, I mean, a lot of times when we lie, it could be just a little white lie, but that lie could really just build into something even bigger and bigger and bigger, and it could affect someone's life. Think about that. That's why in life, it's always best tell the truth.